Hi beautiful people, hope you guys are all doing well. This video is about Without a Crystal Ball and her reporting on the death of Charlie Kirk. First and foremost, my deepest condolences go out to Charlie Kirk, his friends, family and loved ones. And it is heartbreaking the way he lost his life. I did not consume his content, listen to him, nor did I follow him or agree with what he had to say. At the end of the day, he was a human being and he did not deserve to be assassinated. Again, he was a human being like all of us. Seeing people rejoice and be so happy that he was assassinated is sad and heartbreaking. Watching Without a Crystal Ball, who is a self-proclaimed journalist and advocate, make post about the situation because it's a trending topic, for her to be so irresponsible and underhanded, and all because all she cares about is numbers, to me is unacceptable. And especially her original post when the news of the tragedy broke about Charlie Kirk being assassinated was fucked up in my opinion. And you can make up your own mind after you see it. This was her original post, but when she started getting pushback, she quickly removed the post and she made another post with a better choice of words. This was her original post. Alt-right influencer Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck at Utah Valley University. Charlie was shot while answering questions. At the time of the shooting, Charlie was accusing transgender people of being behind most of the mass shootings in the United States, which is false. This is exactly how it went down.
So do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
Okay.
If Katie Joy, aka Without a Crystal Ball, claims to be a journalist, the least she can do is do proper research. This is irresponsible and leading people to believe a false narrative. Under that post, she states, Charlie Kirk, a massive Trump supporter and highly controversial influencer, was shot in the neck at Utah Valley University. He was at the event answering questions from the crowd when the shooting occurred. At the time, Charlie was asked, and then she uses the same bullshit. And that is why she swiftly took that post down and replaced it with this post. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot at Utah Valley University. And remember I said to you guys that she was getting pushback because of the original post that she made. This person says, thank you for updating the language of your post. Violence needs to be condemned without equivocation. To which Without a Crystal Ball says, I never said it was okay. Literally ever. Without a Crystal Ball cannot handle being told when she is wrong. This person, in my opinion, actually gave her a second chance and actually came back to see how she rectified her fuck up. And Without a Crystal Ball responds to her in that way, instead of her humbling herself and responding by saying, I apologize. That is all she needed to do, because this woman made her aware that she did not appreciate the language she used. And so did so many others. And that is why she had to redo her post. And spoiler alert, if you think Without a Crystal Ball was sincere and she wanted to condemn the hatred for what happened to Charlie Kirk, oh no, she goes even lower, which I will get to in a second. Because of all the negative comments and pushback she was receiving, she made this post. I want to address something. I am not a political journalist. You are not a journalist, period. I am a registered Democrat. Since when Without a Crystal Ball? Because this has been floating on the YouTube streets for years now. As you can see, as of 2014, you are a registered Republican. Just saying. I have used my platform to spread information to aid in investigations related to school shootings. Is it? So where is your reporting on the school shooting that happened the same day in Colorado? Without a Crystal Ball. Mass shootings, police violence, sex trafficking, human trafficking, kidnappings, missing persons, and homicides. Have any of you guys seen any of what she stated on her channel? Because the only thing that I've seen of sex trafficking and human trafficking is when she reported Robertson in California, of sex trafficking and human trafficking Miranda Derrick. But what I have seen is her exploitation of victims like Gabby Petito, Garrison Brown, the Duggar kids, Mary Brown, Janelle Brown, Christine Brown, and their kids. I am against all violence. I don't care about the politics of victims or perpetrators. I do not cover every crime. I do not celebrate death of anyone. Don't. Again, going back to your original post, the language of that post says it all. And it seems you only cover the crimes that are trending that you know will get you engagement and that will improve your numbers. Spreading information to help an investigation does not imply I'm supportive or opposed to a victim. It means I'm against the crime and want to help spread the word. Get the proper information before spreading false information. She then goes on to say, I have specific interest in the case of Charlie Kirk because I have many contacts in Utah. I know this is a very scary time for them. I also know that Utah law enforcement consistently messed up investigations and lets criminals skate and avoid prosecution. This is a state that willingly decides not to prosecute sex trafficking and child abuse in polygamous cults. So, this investigation being a mess and totally fumbled by law enforcement is to be expected and is far too common. My choice of words to respond to that post is definitely not YouTube friendly, but you can leave your response to that post in the comment section below. Let me remind you, this person without a crystal ball claims to be a journalist, but it sounded to me like she was undermining law enforcement in Utah. The nerve. She goes on to try to prove herself as a credible journalist, and she states, one of my longtime sources from Utah has often told me the best place to commit a crime and get away with it is in Utah. Friends, just be aware. This will be a long investigation, and I highly doubt the perpetrator is a Democrat. These shooters are really motivated by politics. Southern Utah, specifically the St. George area, is mostly conservative. The area is mostly LDS faith, but multiple polygamous cults have ties to the area. So there is a mix of mainstream and extremist cults in the area. The area near Zion National Park and numerous other parks. People in this area are often avid hikers and campers. Hunting is also big in this area. The gun obtained by authorities is a hunting rifle. Tyler's father is an avid hunter and outdoorsman. The family was big into camping, outdoor activities, which would explain Tyler's agility in climbing the roof and then dropping so easily off the roof. Tip: one of my sources, who is a former member of the Apostolic United Brethren, the polygamous cult, knows Tyler Robinson and his family. They stated that the family is very active in the mainstream LDS church. They said the family is super nice and just your average Mormon family. One of Tyler's cousins was previously married to a former member of the AUB. My source said the family is not affiliated with any fringe Mormon groups in Utah, only the mainstream church. They were shocked to see the news and sad for his family and for the family of Charlie Kirk. As a self-proclaimed journalist, I have no idea what that was supposed to have brought to the table. Well, soon as the day was over, and without a crystal ball, allegedly had a few sips or quite a few glasses of a Spanish red wine, which she does so often, in my opinion, the mask came off fully. She took to her Instagram stories and she made all these posts. I found Charlie's content so appalling. I blocked him 2 years ago, but I still don't believe that he deserved to die. If Without a Crystal Ball truly believes in her heart that he didn't deserve to die, why does she go on to justify his murder with these posts? As you can see, she displays quotes of Charlie Kirk and she says, the death of Charlie Kirk is not justified, but his words did hurt. Words hurt. No life should end in violence. But, again, don't martyr hatred. She goes on with more quotes from Charlie Kirk. Hatred fuels division, and these words seek to divide. If we learn anything, choose to be kind and stop creating us versus them. More quotes from Charlie Kirk. When we dehumanize whole populations and we divide and fuel violence, please don't turn a man that spewed hatred into a martyr. Denounce his death and violence, but don't forget who he was. The rhetoric that Charlie Kirk spewed is no different than the teachings of Bill Gothard. I want to live in a world where we teach our children to love others and that little girls are taught that they can be president. I spent hours listening to his content, and he literally could have pulled it directly from the IBLP. Think about that. That does not justify death or violence. Don't martyr a man that wanted to take away the rights of anyone that wasn't white and male. Violence is never justified, but all he advocated for was violence. She composed this video, which totaled about 2 minutes of clips of Charlie from TikTok, and she captioned it, "Violence is never justified, but, again, but, all he advocated for was violence." She did all this when the day was over, and she probably was reflecting on all the backlash she was getting. And after a few glasses or even a whole bottle of wine, expressed through her Instagram stories how she really feels. Posted all this, and when she got up in the morning and realized that she had done this, she deleted all these posts and made this post. Everyone is welcome here. This space is built on compassion and unity, not division. I am not a political commentator. I am not here to divide. I built this platform so everyone feels welcome to come together on issues we all care about. This is a place to protect the vulnerable, to give voice to the unheard, and to come together with compassion. Here we create space for healing, for justice, and for those who need a voice. Did you feel the compassion when I read her original post? I certainly did not. Did you get compassion when I was reading out her late night Instagram stories, the ones that she deleted? Again, I surely did not. The original post where she stated, "The alt-right influencer," immediately let me know, and this is just my opinion, you guys can form your own opinion, let me know that she did not approve of Charlie Kirk. From when news broke, no outlet reports stated alt-right. She let me know where she stood and how she felt. And when she started to get backlash, she quickly backpedaled and put on a mask to pacify her audience. And unfortunately, it did not work. And I'm so glad to see she is losing followers on her Instagram because she is a fraud. And she proved that by making all those late night posts about how Charlie Kirk advocated for violence, because that is how she truly feels inside. Once again, in my opinion, why didn't she call him out 2 years ago when, as you saw, she said she blocked him for his appalling content? Now, in his death, she had to go and dig it all up to justify his murder? That's fucked up. This should be condoned, not justified. You can disagree with someone politically, but being murdered is unacceptable. This is horrific, and we should all be outraged. Not faking your feelings for clicks and views, and then letting your feelings be known when you are a bit intoxicated, and then finding out the next morning what you posted in a drunken state. Just my opinion. What's ending this was her latest post.
This is a very delicate situation. This is a very delicate situation. I fear that this has set off a chain reaction. I pray to God there is no further violence. I pray to God that nobody else is hurt as a result of this. I hope that it stops here. It should stop here. To all of my followers, if you take up arms, I disavow you, I disown you in the strongest possible terms. That is not what we are about. And the same goes obviously for the other side. And I want to make that very clear. It would be a profound moral, political mistake for anybody to take the bait and to engage in any kind of reprisal, retaliation, revenge. Remember, We are the good side. And what makes us good is that we have Christ. What makes Christianity and Christ so different from the other religions is that our religion is based on the bearing of suffering for the sake of even those that persecute us. An overflowing of love, an overflowing of self-giving love, so much of it, it cannot be contained. An unconditional, absolute standard of love for all of God's children, even those that are misguided, even those that persecute us, even the most heinous among us. That is what makes us different. That is what makes us good. You think you're good? You're not. You are not good. I am not good. You are a man. I am a man. You are a sinner. I am a sinner. We cannot save ourselves. We cannot save this world. God can save us. God can save the world. And God saves us and God saves the world by drawing all of us up onto the cross with him. And we join not just in his glory, but in his suffering. Real suffering, not imaginary, not a nice story, real suffering, real death, real destruction, real misery. We bear a cross like Christ bears a cross, like his disciples, like the martyrs, like the saints bear a cross. And you better get comfortable up there. Drink up.
You did not have to agree with Charlie Kirk. He did not deserve to be murdered. His murder does not need to be justified. The perpetrator is in custody and it's in law enforcement's hands. Without a crystal ball, as a content creator, should be more responsible. She should be lowering the temperature. Again, where is her reporting about the Colorado school shooting? She is so focused on this being fake. She is a fraud. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave me your thoughts and comments down in the comment section. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye guys.